Hi, I'm Sadie Katz, and you're watching Freak Show with Desi and Suzuki. Hi there, I'm Sadie Katz. Thank you so much for having me. Well, you know what's really funny is when people say Scream Queen, I always think that means somebody who's been in, 100 horror films. But I think now the idea of being a Scream Queen is very different, because now it's sort of like you can have that one definitive role where people associate you with the horror franchise. So for me, of course, it was Wrong Turn. So once I did Wrong Turn, everyone was like, you can't play someone as batty as Sally Hilliker without people saying that you're definitely in the genre. So I take it as a compliment. I do think that there's some other actresses that I've worked with who I think definitely maybe earn that title more and maybe might get mad for if I walk around and declare myself a Scream Queen, but I sort of think we're all just actors and actresses, and if you want to call me a Scream Queen and that works for you, great. And if you don't, that's great too. I think it's a compliment. Most Scream Queens I know are hustlers, and they're kind of their own small business. They're promoting their own brand. They can't be embarrassed. That's probably an odd answer, but I think there's an element of acting in horror films that you leave your ego at the door. I mean, there's something about like crying and drooling, or whether you're the antagonist or the protagonist, you've got to be living in the moment right there, giving 150%. That's what makes people really either scared or scared of you, is giving your all. So you can't be worried if you're making an ugly face or, yeah. Okay, moving forward. I mean, they all have their own challenge to them. I think the film I did in Italy called Megan, that's coming out this October, yay, was really challenging because once again, this has happened a lot, I was working with a crew that their first language was primarily Italian, which was amazing because Italians are super friendly. And actually I found working with crews that their first language isn't English is kind of adds a certain element that makes it a little bit more exciting, and there's a lot of love on set because everyone's kind of on the same team, and the miscommunications sort of add to there's a certain mystery and specialness. And so the film family, everyone's holding on together, trying to do something with this huge communication gap that really the only language we're all speaking is the language of film and the love of what we're doing. So the thing about Megan was it was very, very taxing emotionally. It's about my character whose sister has been raped, and my character is trying to save her, and she is blind. So she's hiding with her in a cabin in the woods. And then a hiker, played by Randy Wayne, who's amazing, comes through, and Megan doesn't really seem to, he gets the raw end of the deal and wakes up and he's chained up, and Megan wants to make him pay. But it's not done in a campy way. It's very serious. And I think that there was a lot of, there was no easy scenes. So it was just emotionally taxing, and but also the most rewarding. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. I can't wait to share it with everyone. Yes, so I co-wrote the movie Scorned with, if you're familiar with the Leprechaun franchise, with Mark Jones. And it's funny because Wikipedia says it's based on a breakup, but if you watch the movie, it's the lead is Anna McCord, and she finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her with her best friend, and she lures them to a beach house and tortures them in many maniacal ways. And yeah, so it's not so much based on, also Billy Zane is in it, which is very cool. And Viva Bianca, if you're familiar with her, she's amazing. The thing that's really funny is I did not torture a boyfriend for cheating on me, but I had many, many ideas of how I would torture someone for cheating on me. And that's kind of where the idea came from, is I was very love hurt at the time, and my writing partner, Mark, and I were talking about how much crazier women can be than men when they have their hearts broken. I'm being sexist against women myself, but when a woman is on her period, how you don't want to mess with her because she can be so much more scary. And so that's kind of where the idea came, is what if we had this character and let her just go hog wild? And you know, then we made her off her meds and did some kind of fun. The movie's is meant to be real cheeky and kind of a little wink to the audience. And some people really got that and some people missed it, but I think Anna McCord does an amazing job and she really got it. So it's not based on a breakup, but I warned my fiance that he needs to watch the movie and know what he's dealing with. Nah. I have to tell you, I actually really love clowns, and I have this thing where I think there's something really fun and kind of exciting about a clown, and also mysterious, because it's normally you associate someone dressing up as a clown as with someone who's really normally big and kind of like an older man. And I think that there's something kind of sad and also sweet about someone being a clown, and I think that's why there's this fascination with it. If I see a clown, like, I have to stop and like give them $1 for a balloon and watch what they're doing. So I don't fear them, although what's the movie? I'm trying to think of the movie where he saws them in half. Oh, something with a T. Well, you tell me. That was a really scary clown movie, and It is a scary, the original. That scared me a lot when I was a kid. Clown Fear is really supposed to be a silly, kind of classic B, silly movie. It was a hell of a lot of fun to make, though, with my girlfriends. That was great. Oh, if I self-quarantine, how are you guys doing with that? I wonder what it's like there. Yeah, if I had to quarantine with 5 horror characters, oh my gosh. Let's say, I wrote this down. Okay, well, I happen to think Jack Nicholson is very sexy. This would be very scary, but if I could get him drunk and just spend some time and have fun. Jack Torrance from The Shining, that'd be pretty fun, or not. If I could keep him under control. Annie Wilkes from Misery, who's batshit crazy, but she'd be fun to curl up and listen to her stories, and she'd cook for me, so that would be fun. Freddy Krueger, because I was really scared of him as a kid, but now I watch Nightmare on Elm Street and I'm like, oh my God, he was funny. I never knew that. Did you guys know that? I didn't know it because I was terrified of him. And then when I got older, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street and I was like, this isn't that scary, it's hilarious. And how many is that? Hannibal Lecter, Silence of the Lambs. There's something both, I mean, I'm definitely getting killed during this quarantine, so I might as well go for it. There's something both scary and titillating. He would be like going to be in quarantine with like a fortune teller or like a psychic plus a really nice psychologist. I might, you know, end up learning something about myself. And then I think I would need to have like Neve Campbell, you know. Is she a horror character? Not really. Maybe Carrie, just to shake things up. That's a hard question. Oh, that's, you know, that's like a basic question for me because I think I'm most scared of something happening to like my family or my son or my fiance. But like, I'm really, if I wanted to get like, what am I scared of in like a horror movie? I'm really, really frightened of rats. And I always look in scripts when they send me scripts because I know it's gonna happen where I'm like, please don't make me be crawling down a tunnel and then, you know, there's always these scenes and then a rat's following me. I'm sure it will happen one film because it seems like, I mean, I've had worms, I've been covered in worms, I've had tarantulas on me, I've had like scary things in a film that I'm like, I wish I didn't have to do this, like swimming in a murky lake and things like that. But rats, I can't even see them on TV without like freaking the hell out. God, there's a lot. I think there's just some movies that like you go in phases where you love this. I think the Scream franchise is great. Saw franchise, great. Final Destination. Those are, you kind of, like you know what you're getting into and they're just a lot of fun. Do I have a favorite one right now? I just saw Midsummer. That's disturbing more than scary. I'm still really into The Shining. I think there's something, that movie is very scary and I always feel like every time I see it, I can't close my eyes for like 3 days without seeing weird images. You know, Stephen King did this other one called Storm of the Century right after it. That was like a mini series that I was really into, and Cat's Eye. So yeah. See those. Those are really great. Wow, I would like to know what your favorite scary movie is. I don't know if I've ever seen a movie made there. That's kind of interesting. I want to Google about it. My message is that I hope you guys are okay with COVID and the quarantine. And I know it's different for everyone, but thanks for supporting, you know, American films and indie films and hanging in there with us. That's super cool. I love that. Thank you. But thank you for watching this. I feel really honored to be on this. There's something really cool to me to the fact that here I am in Los Angeles and on my Instagram, I'll get messages from all over the world. And that to me is like probably one of my favorite extra cherries on top of the ice cream of doing acting, is that I actually have made friends online or in people that kind of root me on from other countries. That's a really surreal thing for me. So I think if I knew that when I was younger, I wouldn't even imagine it. So that means the most. So look me up on Instagram under Sadie Katz and let's be friends.